Okay, I need to tell you something. When I first moved to Rochester, I thought it was going to be a temporary. Maybe a year or two, then I would move to somewhere better, you know it. A bigger city, warmer weather, more excitement. But here's the thing, I have been here for 13 years now and I'm now leaving. Like everyone, and I know what you're thinking. It's Rochester, New York. What's so special about it? And honestly, I get that. Rochester doesn't have a reputation of the Seattle or the Austin or the Denver, but living here, it just hit different. I'm Khem Kadariya, and today I'm going to tell you exactly why Rochester had completely won me over and why I genuinely believe this might be one of the most underrated cities in America. If you are someone who values real community, quality of life, and actually able to afford the life you love, stick around because Rochester might just surprise you. And let's dive in. So when did I realize Rochester is special? It was not a big moment. It was a bunch of small ones that added up. It was the first time I bought a house here at 28 years old, and my friends in other cities were still renting a studio apartment for $2,500 a month. And I had a 3-bedroom house with a yard and a garage. That's when I realized my money actually works here. I was going to a public market on the Saturday morning and running into 3 different people that I know. Not in the annoying way, but in a this is actual my community way. I was driving 20 minutes outside the city and being surrounded by the vineyard and crops and realized that I had so much most beautiful scenery in the country right in my backyard. It was the first prop winter that almost broke me, but then the spring comes in, the Lilac Festival happened, and I understand why people stay here in Rochester. All this little movement made me realize that Rochester isn't just trying to be anything other than what it is, and it is pretty damn great. Let's talk about something that matters to literally everyone: the money. The financial freedom I have in Rochester is insane compared to what you would have anywhere in North America, and I'm not kidding. I'm not even talking about the making a youth salary. I am talking about actual being able to save money, being able to go out for the dinner without checking my bank account first, being able to travel because I am not spending 50% of my income in rent. My friends are paying for 1-bedroom apartment in Brooklyn, and let's sink in. And it is not just the housing. Going to the Armox hockey games cost $20 to $30. A great diner out is $50 for 2 people, not $150. Concert tickets are affordable. Parking either cheaper or completely free. You can have these luxuries in any of the bigger cities. In Rochester, you can still have that vibe in the smaller cities, which is rapidly growing. You can actually live here, not just survive, but actually have a decent income to enjoy your life. And I do have a friend in Boston, DC, and New York City who makes more money than I do on paper, but they are way more stressed about the finances. Meanwhile, I am over here building equity, maximizing out my retirement account, and still having fun. That quality life is different. It is everything. Okay, I know you are thinking, the weather is terrible. And look, I am not going to lie you. Winter is real, it is long, it is cold, and February will actually test you. Will you live here? But here is what I have learned. The seasons make you appreciate things in the way you just don't find in any place with the perfect weather around the year. Spring in Rochester is absolutely magical. When those first 60 degrees hit in the April, the entire city comes to life. People are outside smiling, talking to the strangers. The Lilac Festival is one of the most beautiful thing you will ever experience. Highland Park covers with the blooming lilac, thousands of people just enjoying the life. Summer is perfect here. Not too hot, beautiful sunny days, festival every weekend, and the lake is right there. Charlotte Beach, Sea Breeze, concert at the MP Theater, Rochester summers are elite. Fall, don't even get me started. The flag is stunning. Apple picking, pumpkin farm, wineries is full swag. Lechuti State Park looking like a painting. It's worth delaying with winter for Rochester Falls. And winter, yes, it is tough, but there is something about pushing through it with your community. The sheer struggle create bonds. Plus the cozy coffee shop, skiing, holiday market, and yes, those first snowfalls are actually pretty beautiful. The season makes you present. They force you to appreciate the good times because that's the gift, and honestly, that is the gift of being a four season of the Rochester weather. Can we talk about how good the foods are here? Because nobody talks about this, and it is a crime. Rochester had world-class restaurant. I'm not sugarcoating here. We have a James Braid nominated incredible farm-to-table spot and diversity of cuisine in insane for the city of this size. If you want authentic ethnic food, we got you incredible Vietnamese, Thai, Ethiopian, Mexican, Italian, Greek, and Indian restaurant. All of is legit, all of is delicious. And the garbage plate is iconic. Yes, it looks insane. Yes, it is amazing, especially at the 2 a.m. But beyond that, places like Good Luck, Tarata, those restaurants would thrive in any major cities. And they are not charging you $40 just for entering the door. The craft beer and wine scene is incredible. We are surrounded by the Finger Lake wineries. Some of those best residing in the world are made an hour away from here. The berry scenics keep growing. Genesee, Third Height, Turn Up, a small spot. And the Wegmans. I know it is a grocery store, but if you know, you know. Wegmans is a lifestyle. It is a therapy. It is better than most of the restaurant. The food scene here revives cities 3 times our size, and it is not an exaggeration. This is the big one for me. The community in Rochester is real in the way that's hard to find in the bigger cities. People here are genuinely friendly. Not fakeness, but actually helpful and kind. You will have a conversation with these strangers, neither actually talk to each other, and look out for each other. This is real civic pride. People care about Rochester. They want to see you succeed, and the buy local, support local culture is super strong here. When a new business opened, the community showed up. I have made more genuine friendship here in a few years than I have made in a decade in the larger cities. And I think it is because the pace is slower, people have time for the relationship, and there is not that competitive transaction vibe you get in a bigger metros. The art and culture community is tight-knit. You go to the event and start conversation face to face. You become part of something. And here is something special. Rochester has the underdog mentality. We know we are not the New York City or the Boston. We don't care. We are doing our own thing, and we are proud of that. That creates a special kind of the community bond. When a snowstorm hits, neighbors help each other to dig out the snow pile. And when someone struggles, the community showed up. It sounds corny, but it is real here. This is just a Rochester thing, and some of the people who are new to here completely doesn't believe this. Rochester location is absolutely perfect if you love to explore. Finger Lakes are right here in your backyard. I can leave the work on Friday and be at the wine tasting by 6 p.m. Walking Glen, Seneca Lake, Keuka Lake, world-class natural beauty and wineries. Niagara Falls is just 90 minutes away. Toronto is just 2.5 hours. A whole different country for a day trip. Buffalo is an hour if you want to catch the Bills game or explore more food scene. The Adirondacks are drivable for the weekend trip. Lake Ontario is right there for the beaches and sunset. If you want a big city flex, you can be in New York City in just 5 to 6 hours. The airport is small but functional. You can get anywhere you need to go, and you are in a parking through the security check in less than 20 minutes, not 2 hours like the bigger cities. So basically, you can sort of half an hour ahead of time and you should be fine, check in and onboarded on the flight. You can get the benefit of the small city with the big city's access whenever you want. It is just the best for both worlds. Here is something people doesn't talk about enough. Rochester is a place where you can actually make an impact and build something. The job market is strong here in healthcare, tech, education, and optics. The University of Rochester, RIT, major hospital, Paychex, Wegman, there are legit career opportunity. But beyond that, if you want to start a business, Rochester is an incredible place to do it. Lower overhead costs, supportive community, resources throughout the incubators, and local programs. If you are in the art, you can actually make a name of yourself here. You are not competing with the 10,000 other artists. There is a space to grow and be actually recognized. Real estate investing is accessible here in a way it is not in most of the city. You can actually afford to buy a rental property and build a wealth here long term. I have watched my friends launch your business, buy a building, and start nonprofit, make real changes in the community. That is hard to do when you are drowning in the cost of living in the major metros. Rochester is a place where you can actually build a life you want, not just survive. Rochester is in this really exciting phase right now. The city is investing heavily in the downtown development. New businesses are opening. Young people are moving here. The transformation over the last 5 to 10 years has been remarkable. Areas that were dead right now thrive. The inner loop was filled in and now it is new developments and parks. There is an energy of possibilities. Rochester isn't stuck in a past. Is evolving, but in a way that preserves what makes it special. New restaurants are opening, tech startup growing, the art scene expanding. It feels like we're in a verge of something big. And the best part, you can still get in on the ground floor. Housing is still affordable, neighborhoods are still accessible, and you can actually still be a part of this growth instead of price out of it. And I genuinely believe Rochester is one of the best kept secrets in America, and more people are still trying to figure this out. Look, Rochester isn't perfect. Rochester winter is brutal and the economy isn't massive as the major metros. Some areas in the city still struggling. But here is what I have learned. Perfect cities doesn't exist. Every cities have a trade-off. What Rochester offers is real. Real affordability, real community, real quality of life, real opportunity. I am not spending my life stressed about the money or sitting in a traffic for 4 hours or living in a tiny apartment with no outdoor space. I have a house, I have a yard, I have a savings, and I have genuine friendship. I can walk out to the coffee shop and brewers. I am 20 minutes away from hiking trails, an hour from the world-class wineries. I am actually living my better life, not just existing and working to pay rent. This is why I am never going to leave Rochester. Rochester has given me a quality of life that I couldn't afford anywhere else, and the community I never would want to live. So if you are someone who tried to rat race, tired of spending all of your money on the rent, tired of not knowing your neighborhood, tired of city that all feels the same, Rochester might be exactly what you're looking for. It is not flashy, it is not trendy either, but it is real. And in this world where everything feels like a fake or transactional, and that really matters. Living in Rochester is different because it lets you actually live the life you want instead of the life you are forced to live because of the cost. I moved here thinking it was temporary, and I cannot imagine living anywhere else. That should tell you something. If you are considering Rochester as your next home, or if you are already here and needed this recommendation of how good we have it, drop in the comments below. I love to hear from the people who gets it. And if you want more content about the Rochester Neighborhood Guide, hidden gems, real estate tips, make sure to subscribe. I got so much thing to share about this city in future video. Thanks for watching, and who knows, maybe I will see you in a public market next weekend. Rochester just hit the difference.